Once considered the relentless enemy of farmers, locusts caused severe damage to crops and seriously threatened food supplies, forcing humans to try every method to eliminate them. Yet today, locusts have transformed into a promising superfood, thanks to their high protein content and low farming costs, opening a new path for the sustainable food industry. But how can humans turn these destructive pests into tens of thousands of tons of food each year? This unusual journey begins at specialized locust farms in China, where they are carefully cared for, hatched and raised in closed environments, treasured like living treasures containing invaluable nutrition. Once they reach the right size, they are harvested, transported to processing facilities, and transformed into unique and appealing delicacies. Today, join Agriculture Insight to explore one of the world's most unique agricultural models and witness how humans have turned crop disasters into a promising, sustainable industry. All will be revealed in this video. In nature, locusts are insects capable of causing severe agricultural disasters. When the weather is favorable, small swarms gather into massive clouds that darken the sky and destroy thousands of hectares of crops within hours, leaving farmers devastated. This phenomenon causes global agricultural losses of up to $8.5 billion annually, threatening food security and significantly impacting the economies of many countries worldwide. Yet the paradox is that this very pest is now considered a protein source of the future. Locusts contain 60–70% pure protein, twice that of beef, while being rich in minerals, low in fat, easy to digest, and environmentally friendly. In China, the locust farming industry is rapidly growing, with an estimated annual production of around 5,000 to 8,000 tons, serving both domestic and export markets and generating tens of millions of dollars in revenue. In Africa, locusts are called gold falling from the sky. Locals harvest them naturally at almost no cost, yet still create significant income. And without further delay, join me now to explore the modern locust farming process and how humans have transformed a destructive pest into a new food source for the future. Every journey begins with infrastructure. To raise locusts effectively, farmers must create a natural-like environment that is orderly, clean, and fully controlled. Modern locust farms are typically built in well-ventilated areas with abundant natural light, but protected from rain and wind by hundreds of neatly arranged mosquito-proof mesh cages. Each rearing unit has a base layer of fine sand or sawdust to absorb moisture and provide ideal conditions for locusts to lay eggs. The temperature inside the cages is maintained steadily between 30 to 35 degrees Celsius, with humidity kept at 60 to 70%, recreating a summer-like environment in a closed space to maximize locust growth and reproduction. And of course, maintaining healthy breeding stock is an essential step, a process that requires meticulous preparation and strict control. During the breeding season, the locust farm becomes so lively that farmers call it the biological explosion phase. Locusts mate by stacking on the backs of females, with each mating lasting from 4 to 10 hours, one of the longest mating durations among insects. The male uses small spines on its legs to firmly hold the female, ensuring successful sperm transfer. After fertilization, the female enters a prolonged egg-laying phase lasting several days. During the breeding season, farmers place specialized egg-laying trays, shallow plastic boxes filled with a 3 to 5 centimeters thick layer of fine sand, maintained at about 70% moisture. Female locusts use a needle-like ovipositor to pierce deep into the sand and deposit eggs in batches. Each individual can lay from 20 to over 100 eggs at a time, and this process repeats multiple times throughout the breeding cycle. The number of eggs laid can be so large that after just one night, the sand surface may be completely covered, with eggs arranged in layers resembling tiny grains of rice. To prevent overcrowding that could cause oxygen deficiency or embryo damage, farmers need to regularly replace the trays, ensuring each batch of eggs is collected at the right time. Immediately after the female locust completes the egg-laying process, farmers carefully begin collecting the egg trays. With meticulous handling, they sift through the sand layer, gently extracting egg clusters concentrated in the densest areas. Locust eggs are very small, elongated oval-shaped, and ivory-colored. They are usually coated in a layer of mucus secreted by the female during laying. This mucus helps bind the eggs into clusters and forms an initial protective membrane, but it also causes the eggs to blend into the sand, requiring skilled handling to avoid breaking or damaging the delicate embryos inside. Once separated, the eggs are transferred to specialized incubation trays containing a sterilized mixture of fine sand and sawdust or coconut fiber. The mixing ratio is precisely adjusted to maintain optimal moisture levels, avoiding excessive wetness that could cause oxygen deficiency, while ensuring good airflow around the eggs. The incubation trays are then placed in a separate hatching area with minimal light. Temperature is kept stable between 30 to 32 degrees Celsius, and humidity is maintained at approximately 70%. After 10 to 15 days, the young locusts begin to break through the eggshells and emerge from the sand, as if experiencing a new season of life. Newly hatched locusts resemble adults in shape but lack wings. At this stage, they are extremely fragile and sensitive to environmental changes, requiring meticulous care to ensure the highest survival rate. In their early life stage, young locusts are fed soft, nutrient-rich, and easily digestible young leaves to help their bodies recover quickly after each molt. As they grow, their diet shifts to fresh leaves such as corn, papaya, elephant grass, or sweet potato leaves. All feed materials are carefully chopped into bite-sized pieces completely free of pesticides and always kept fresh. Even a small piece of wilted or moldy leaf can cause disease outbreaks that spread rapidly in the confined farming environment. Stocking density is also critical, typically maintained at 500 to 1,000 locusts per square meter. Overcrowding causes stress, leading locusts to bite each other or suffer mass mortality. Daily cleaning is mandatory, removing dead individuals, cleaning feces, replacing moisture-absorbing bedding, and draining stagnant water to prevent mold growth. Neglecting these tasks can result in the loss of hundreds of locusts within hours. Like many other insects, locusts develop through molting. During the first 25 to 30 days of life, they undergo 5 to 6 molts before reaching adulthood. Each molting stage is extremely sensitive. Before molting, farmers carefully adjust the humidity in the rearing area. Instead of direct watering, farms typically use light misting systems or place damp cloths in corners to maintain ideal moisture levels. If the environment is too dry, old exoskeletons won't shed completely. If too moist, mold outbreaks occur. Throughout molting, locust bodies become soft, nearly transparent, and highly vulnerable to injury from collisions or even competition among peers. Therefore, it is strictly prohibited to move or disturb the rearing area during this period. After the final molts, locusts reach adult form, elongated and muscular bodies with thin wings folded neatly along their sides. Their color changes from deep green to earthy brown, depending on the rearing environment and strain. As locusts enter the adult stage, their nutritional needs increase dramatically. While they fed slowly as nymphs, their food consumption rate now becomes extremely rapid. A group of several hundred locusts can consume an entire tray of greens within just a few hours. The average weight of an adult locust ranges from 250 to 350 milligrams, but high-yield strains can reach up to 400 milligrams. Each individual requires about 0.8 to 1.2 grams of feed daily. On average, a tray housing 500 locusts needs approximately 3 kilograms of leafy greens per day to ensure sufficient nutrition for the harvesting stage. Besides food, locusts need clean water to maintain vital functions. On farms, drinking water is usually provided through trays or light misting systems, helping to maintain humidity and aid digestion. Clean, uncontaminated water is essential to prevent diseases and boost immunity. Providing adequate water helps locusts grow healthily and achieve high productivity. Every 3-4 days, farmers randomly weigh samples to monitor growth rates. This process helps adjust feeding portions timely, ensuring uniform development and minimizing size differences within the colony. After about 30 to 35 days, adult locusts reach marketable size and are ready for harvest. This stage is highly manual, requiring skill and precision comparable to any sophisticated agricultural technique. Unlike other insects that can be harvested by machinery, locusts are caught entirely by hand to preserve their shape and ensure quality. Harvesters gently open nets or cage lids and carefully approach the locusts clinging to trays or the floor. Every movement must be precise and smooth. Too fast causes panic, too slow reduces productivity. After catching, locusts are placed into soft mesh bags to keep them ventilated and prevent crushing or deformation. On average, a skilled harvester can collect 10 to 15 kilograms per hour. The combination of speed and gentleness has turned this task into an art form. The ultimate goal is to keep each locust intact for the next step, whether packaging live or sending them to processing plants. After the harvesting and transportation process is complete, the live locust trays are immediately sent for thorough cleaning, a process far more sophisticated than simply washing with water. The locusts are placed into automatic vibrating tanks that combine circulating water, gentle ultrasonic waves, and tilted stainless steel drums. This system removes sand, soil, leaves, droppings, and natural oils from the locusts' bodies without breaking their legs or tearing their wings. After cleaning, the locusts move onto mesh conveyor belts for drying using low-pressure cold air. This method dries them without causing thermal shock, preserving their freshness and original texture. Once clean and dry, the locusts are taken to the packaging area. Here, they are sorted according to their intended use: live consumption or processing. Live locusts are packed in modified atmosphere bags to maintain freshness. Each package is clearly labeled with harvest date, origin, nutritional information, and storage instructions. And the most exciting part is the processing stage. The locusts are briefly blanched in boiling water to remove impurities, then gently dried and seasoned with sea salt and traditional herbs. Next, they are deep fried in hot oil until they turn a golden crispy color that's simply irresistible. After frying, the locusts are drained of oil, then a few drops of fresh lime juice are added along with a sprinkle of chili powder, creating a perfect blend of sour, spicy, and the distinctive umami aftertaste. The result is a unique snack, crunchy, flavorful, and highly nutritious, ideal for enjoying with a cold drink or as an adventurous appetizer. Would you dare to try this tiny but surprising delicacy? What intrigues you more, the crisp crunch, the spicy kick, or its nutrition, considered the future of cuisine? One of the most terrifying ecological disasters on the planet didn't come from a great flood or nuclear war, but from 24 rabbits. In 1859, Thomas Austin, an English landowner living in Victoria, Australia, simply wanted to recreate the hunting traditions of his homeland. he released a few dozen European rabbits into the wild, unaware that he had just triggered a ticking biological time bomb. Within just 70 years, the wild rabbit population had exploded into the billions, spreading at a rate of up to 100 kilometers per year. They wiped out native ecosystems, destroyed grasslands, collapsed food chains, and caused soil erosion on an unprecedented scale. Once lush meadows turned into barren wastelands. The Australian government even built a rabbit-proof fence over 200 kilometers long, but it was in vain. Today, despite the use of myxomatosis and RHDV viruses, the feral rabbit population remains around 300 million, making them one of the most successful invasive species in human history. Feral rabbits may look harmless, but they are in fact one of the most destructive invasive species ever recorded on Earth. They don't need sharp claws or deadly fangs to wreak havoc, just ever-growing teeth and a pair of expert digging legs. By devouring young grass, seedlings, and nearly every plant in their path, they strip native vegetation bare, leaving the land exposed and vulnerable to erosion. Their burrowing weakens the soil and causes buildings, roads, and farmlands to collapse in chunks. Even more terrifying is their explosive reproduction. A single pair can produce hundreds of offspring in a year. This fuels unstoppable population booms. And rabbits never come alone. As long as there's grass and no natural predators, they will arrive, multiply, dig, and silently transform fertile landscapes into ecological dead zones. Faced with a tiny creature that spreads like a plague, humans are forced into a silent yet brutal war, where even a single oat becomes a weapon. At dusk, bait-spreading machines roll slowly across the parched fields, leaving behind trails of fragrant oats. At first, it's just clean food, scattered nightly to lull the rabbits' famously sharp instincts. Once they grow used to the path and the familiar scent, the poison takes its place. 1080 or pindone, ruthless yet precise. And as darkness cloaks the land one by one, the rabbits fall into the sweet trap laid in silence, marking the beginning of a relentless eradication campaign. Even as rabbit numbers decline, the battle is far from over. Their burrows remain, a tangled network beneath the ground, causing subsidence, damaging infrastructure, and serving as ideal breeding grounds. To eliminate the threat at its root, humans must destroy the burrows, level the land, and erase any chance of resurgence. Using excavators or specialized plows, they slice through tunnels as deep as 0.6 meters, and in some cases over 2.5 meters, to collapse the entire hidden structure. If signs of rabbit activity persist at night, authorities resort to shooting or pumping toxic gas directly into the burrows to ensure complete extermination. When rabbits begin to scatter from destroyed burrow zones, hunting becomes the final method of control. Among the options, hunting with dogs is the most instinctive and effective approach. Breeds like beagles, terriers, and lurchers, known for their speed and sharp sense of smell, are trained to track and flush rabbits out of hiding. In the UK and Australia, this was once a long-standing tradition, where humans and dogs worked as a perfect hunting pair. Today, it's still considered an eco-friendly solution, replacing poison and traps. When a rabbit appears, the hunter has only seconds to react. Strength isn't required, only patience, fast reflexes, and a sharp eye for the terrain. Rabbits can change direction in an instant, often diving into thick underbrush where a clean shot is difficult. A skilled hunter is one who waits, stays calm, and pulls the trigger based on instinct and timing alone. Deep in the forest or along overgrown fields, handmade traps crafted from cardboard boxes and old metal wheels continue to work silently and effectively. To lure rabbits in, people often place tempting bait like carrots, grapes, or longans right at the trap's entrance. Cardboard traps are buried just beneath the surface, fitted with a simple trigger made from bamboo, plastic bottles, and sticks. Just one touch, and the lid snaps shut instantly. However, not all rabbits are a threat. When domesticated and raised under controlled systems, rabbits become a highly valuable livestock animal. Each year, the world produces around 1.2 million tons of rabbit meat, with China accounting for over 40% of global output, followed by France, Italy, and Spain. In these countries, rabbits are raised on modern farms using closed-loop systems, from breeding and care to harvesting, where every stage is optimized through technology. Thanks to this model, a single farm can produce tens of thousands of rabbits annually with exceptionally high survival rates. From a creature once seen as a natural menace, the rabbit has made a remarkable turnaround to become a clean, sustainable food source and a key link in modern agriculture. On modern farms, the breeding process is strictly controlled to ensure genetic quality and reproductive efficiency. Instead of allowing rabbits to mate naturally, artificial insemination is used. Semen is collected from healthy male rabbits and injected into females at the optimal time of ovulation. This method allows for better genetic management, increases conception rates up to 90%, and ensures a more uniform and healthy litter. Female rabbits are pregnant for about 30 days. Before giving birth, they are moved to a designated birthing area, quiet, clean, and lined with straw. Interestingly, even when a nest is prepared, the mother will instinctively pluck fur from her chest and belly to line the nest, creating a natural blanket to keep her hairless newborns warm during their most vulnerable days. Each litter usually consists of 6 to 8 kits. After birth, the young rabbits nurse for around 4 weeks before being weaned. This is a highly sensitive stage. Without proper temperature, humidity, and hygiene, the kits are at high risk of illness. To improve survival rates, many modern farms install sensors to monitor nesting conditions and detect any signs of abnormality as early as possible. The entire farm operates under a closed-loop system, allowing farmers to tightly control environmental factors such as temperature, humidity, lighting, and air quality. From the outside, the rabbit housing is arranged in neat, well-ventilated rows, clean and organized like a modern factory. Inside, instead of group housing, like in traditional methods, each rabbit is kept in an individual cage made of stainless steel or antibacterial plastic, durable and easy to clean. After each production cycle, all cages are cleaned using high-pressure water jets or flame sterilization to eliminate waste, loose fur, and potential pathogens. Along each row, automatic feeders and water dispensers are installed in front of every cage, allowing rabbits to eat and drink without competition or stress. Their diet typically includes nutrient-rich pellets combined with fresh greens, carrots, sweet potatoes, and apples, promoting both fast growth and healthy digestion. Rabbits have a highly sensitive digestive system, requiring a high fiber intake to maintain stable gut function. After around 75 to 90 days of farming, once rabbits reach their ideal weight of 2 to 2.5 kilograms, they are ready to be harvested and sent to the processing plant. Rabbits have one of the shortest grow-out cycles among meat-producing animals, allowing for rapid turnover and efficient space usage. Unlike animals like skunks, which require anesthesia, odor control, and pose a risk of biting, rabbits are gentle, calm, and easy to handle. Workers can simply pick them up by hand or using soft gloves, minimizing stress before slaughter to preserve meat quality. And now let's move on to the part we're most curious about. How are rabbits processed? Once delivered to the plant, rabbits enter a modern slaughter and processing line. They are hung upside down by their hind legs to keep them still, then stunned to prevent pain and reduce muscle spasms, ensuring consistent meat texture. Next, they move to the deherring machine, which removes the outer fur layer without damaging the skin or flesh underneath. A small cut around the leg or neck, followed by a firm pull, can peel the skin off almost as easily as removing a banana peel. After skinning, internal organs are removed and the carcass is thoroughly cleaned. Finally, the body is divided into cuts like hind legs, loin, and neck. then vacuum sealed to maintain freshness and hygiene before reaching consumers. Are you curious how those cute, gentle rabbits end up being processed into food by humans? Rabbit meat is often grilled to preserve its natural sweetness and tenderness. It's typically marinated with garlic, pepper, olive oil, and herbs like rosemary or thyme, then cooked over charcoal or in an oven. When done, the outer layer turns golden and crispy, while the inside remains juicy and tender. The flavor of rabbit is often described as somewhere between chicken and pork, light yet flavorful, without being overly fatty. This dish is especially popular in Europe, commonly served during spring feasts or traditional festivals. In many Western countries, especially Germany, the United States, the United Kingdom, and Australia, rabbits are not only livestock animals but also cultural symbols closely associated with Easter, one of the most important holidays in the Christian calendar. The character of the Easter Bunny has become a familiar figure in the minds of millions of children, with the tale of a magical rabbit who hides eggs in the garden for children to find on Easter Sunday morning. The origins of the Easter Bunny can be traced back to 17th century Germany. The early Germans believed that rabbits symbolized new life, spring, and abundant fertility, since a single rabbit can give birth to dozens of offspring each year. Alongside this was the image of the egg, representing rebirth, hope, and light after a long, harsh winter. These two symbols merged to form a unique tradition: a rabbit that brings eggs, an idea that may sound illogical but holds deep meaning in folklore. World of these remarkable creatures. Goats are some of the most adaptable and charming animals you'll ever meet. Known for their curious personalities and playful nature, goats are often seen as the comedians of the animal world. They can climb steep cliffs, nibble on almost anything green, and even form close bonds with their caregivers. Currently, the U.S. boasts a goat population of approximately 2.6 million, primarily concentrated in Texas and California, states with vast pastures and favorable climates that allow goats to thrive. In the U.S., goats are more than just farm animals. They're the superstars of agriculture. Dairy breeds like Saanen, Nubian, and Alpine are highly productive, each yielding 2 to 5 liters of milk per day, which is used to create products like cheese, yogurt, and even luxurious soap. Meanwhile, meat breeds such as Boer and Kiko are known for their lightning-fast growth, reaching a weight of 80 to 120 pounds in just 6 to 9 months, producing lean, nutrient-rich meat. Like many animals, goats embark on their journey through life with a carefully managed birthing process. A mother goat typically carries her kids for about 5 months and gives birth to 1 to 3 babies at a time. During pregnancy, these queen goats are pampered like royalty, with a special diet and regular health checkups to ensure a smooth delivery. The kidding season primarily takes place in spring when the weather is warm and pastures are abundant. This is also the busiest time for farmers, who closely monitor the goats, ready to assist in delivering healthy baby goats. A successful birth not only brings joy but also marks the beginning of the herd's growth and development. Newborn goats are dried off and kept warm immediately after birth. During their first week, they rely solely on their mother's milk, which is rich in antibodies to boost their immune systems. By the time they are 2 to 3 weeks old, baby goats start nibbling on hay or grains, although milk remains their primary source of nutrition. At 2 to 3 months, the kids are weaned and separated from their mothers. This allows the mother goat to recover and focus on milk production, while the young goats begin to develop independence. This crucial step helps them build natural immunity and prepares them for life out on the pasture. Adult goats primarily eat fresh grass, hay, and grains, consuming about 3% of their body weight daily. Feeding goats has become a high-tech operation with the help of robots. Imagine a sleek and efficient robot gliding through the barn, delivering precisely measured portions of food to eager goats waiting in their cozy stalls. These smart machines know exactly how much each goat needs, ensuring that no one misses out on essential nutrients. The ever-curious goats often follow the robot with playful hops, as if it's their new best friend. Farmers love these robots too. They save time, reduce waste, and keep the herd healthy and happy. Truly, a win-win for everyone. In the US, goat farming typically combines free-range grazing with modern, well-equipped barns. These barns are designed with proper ventilation, soft bedding, and ample access to clean water and nutritious food. Some farms even utilize innovative methods, like raising goats under solar panel arrays. This approach not only helps keep the grass trimmed naturally, but also maximizes the use of space, blending sustainable agriculture with renewable energy. When young goats reach 6 to 8 weeks of age, they are finally introduced to the vast pastures. In the US, these sprawling grasslands are more than just a place for exercise. They're a buffet loaded with a variety of grasses and shrubs. Goats, being naturally picky eaters, use their lips to select the juiciest blades of grass, and even climb low branches to nibble on leaves. Who said grazing at ground level was the only fun option? Allowing goats to roam freely not only helps reduce their stress, but also boosts their immunity and enhances the quality of their milk and meat. To manage a large herd on expansive pastures, herding dogs are indispensable right-hand helpers for farmers. These four-legged staff members excel at guiding and gathering the goats, leading them from one area to another with ease and order. But herding isn't their only job. These dogs are also the goats' personal bodyguards, protecting them from predators like wolves and coyotes. Always on alert, they can detect threats from a distance and act swiftly to neutralize dangers, often before the farmer even notices. Truly, they're the unsung heroes of goat farming. In the US, harvesting goat milk is nothing short of a fascinating journey where modern technology transforms a daily chore into an awe-inspiring performance. The goats, like radiant stars, confidently step onto the rotating milking system. Each goat is guided into its own individual stall, separated by horizontal bars, giving the impression of a goat beauty pageant with a mix of humor and elegance. Once comfortably in position, the automated milking machine takes over. Two gentle suction cups are attached to the goat's udder, performing the task smoothly and efficiently, ensuring the goats experience no discomfort. Within minutes, streams of pristine white milk are collected and transported directly into large cooling tanks. Here the milk is rapidly chilled to 2 to 4 degrees Celsius, creating a perfect safeguard against bacteria and preserving its fresh, pure quality. The journey doesn't stop there. The milk is then transported to state-of-the-art processing facilities. At the factory, it undergoes a series of rigorous and precise steps. First, it's pasteurized at high temperatures for a few seconds to eliminate bacteria while retaining its natural flavor. Next, it is filtered and homogenized, resulting in a smooth and consistent texture that meets the highest standards. Finally, every drop is carefully packaged into beautifully labeled bottles or cartons, ready to grace supermarket shelves across America. From lush green pastures to cutting-edge factories, the journey of goat milk is a seamless blend of nature and technology. Behind every bottle of milk lies a magical story where goats shine as masterful milk producers in the animal kingdom. At the same processing plant, goat milk begins its transformation into exquisite cheese through an artful and meticulous process. First, the milk is gently heated to around 30 degrees Celsius, a warm-up stage to wake up rennet, the magical enzyme that turns liquid milk into soft curds. Once the milk solidifies, skilled hands, or sometimes intelligent machines, carefully cut the curds into smaller pieces, allowing the whey, the excess liquid in the milk, to separate more easily. But that's just the beginning. The curds are then pressed tightly to remove as much whey as possible, creating the dense texture that defines great cheese. After pressing, the curds are placed into molds to take shape, each piece beginning to resemble a small work of art. Once shaped, the cheese enters the most critical phase, aging. Over 2 to 6 weeks, the cheese is stored in a perfectly controlled environment with just the right temperature and humidity, a luxurious spa retreat where its flavors mature to their peak. During this time, the magic happens. The cheese develops a rich, creamy, and irresistibly savory profile that delights the palate. After achieving the ideal flavor, texture, and consistency, the cheese is carefully cleaned and packaged in attractive, well-labeled wraps. These delightful morsels are then ready to grace supermarket shelves, bringing joy to food lovers everywhere, from gourmet enthusiasts to dedicated cheese fanatics. From the fresh milk flowing from a goat's udder to the delicious cheese on your table, this journey is a symphony of science, art, and patience. Goat cheese isn't just food, it's a testament to human creativity. And if cheese could talk, it would proudly declare, "I am a true masterpiece." Alongside milk and cheese, goat meat is a standout product in American agriculture. The U.S. produces approximately 6,000 tons of goat meat annually, meeting domestic demand and contributing to exports. With its unique flavor, tender texture, and high nutritional value yet low-fat content, goat meat is a health-conscious choice. Whether grilled to perfection, simmered into a rich stew, or spiced up in a bold curry, goat meat always retains its natural, unforgettable taste, earning its place as the star of any feast. When it comes to luxurious fibers, goats steal the spotlight with their silky soft hair. Meet the stars of the show. Fiber goats like Angora and Cashmere goats. These fluffy wonders are like walking clouds, producing some of the most coveted materials in the textile world. Angora goats give us mohair, known for its sheen and durability, while Cashmere goats provide that irresistibly soft cashmere wool we all adore. Caring for these goats is a special task. They're combed or sheared gently once or twice a year to collect their prized fibers. The process doesn't hurt them. In fact, it's like giving them a refreshing haircut. These goats thrive in cooler climates, where their coats grow thick and luxurious. Not just practical, but also adorable. Fiber goats prove that beauty and utility can go hand in hand, one strand of wool at a time. And so, the journey of these remarkable goats comes to a close. They've shown us that true value doesn't always lie in size, but in the dedication and creativity of the farmers who care for them. We hope you enjoyed discovering their story in this video. If you found goats as charming as we do, imagine a world without them. No cheese on your pizza or fresh milk with your morning cereal. First things first, geese are a bit like that nosy neighbor who's always peeking over the fence. They're curious, social, and surprisingly smart for birds. Here are some of the fun and sometimes challenging traits that define our feathered friends. Geese are pretty easy to please when it comes to food. They're mostly herbivores, grazing on grass like fluffy cows. This makes them easy to feed, as they're more than happy to mow down the lawn for you. Just don't expect them to pull any weeds neatly. Alongside grass, they'll also munch on grains and leafy greens, so you can keep them happily fed without much fuss. Unlike chickens that need protein-packed feed, geese are quite happy with a simpler menu. Geese have a strong sense of loyalty, which is charming until they decide someone or something is a threat. With a honk louder than a car horn and the confidence of a bouncer, geese will protect their space from any intruders. This territorial instinct makes them perfect farm guards. They'll honk up a storm if they sense danger, be it from a fox, a stray dog, or even the neighbor's curious cat. Geese are intelligent birds, known for their memory and loyalty. They can recognize faces, both human and animal, and have a knack for knowing who belongs and who doesn't. However, with that intelligence comes a healthy dose of stubbornness. Training geese can be like convincing a toddler to eat their vegetables. Doable, but it takes patience. Geese are social animals. They move as a group, sleep in groups, and if one gets lost, you can be sure the rest will kick up a fuss until they're reunited. This all-for-one mentality is great for flock dynamics, as they'll protect each other and stick together through thick and thin. Now that we know a little more about the feathered personalities in question, let's move on to the methods behind raising geese on farms. So you want to raise geese? Get ready for a bit of honking, flapping, and plenty of feathers. Geese farming has come a long way from just letting them wander around the yard. Today's goose farms employ some fascinating methods to make sure these birds are well taken care of while also being productive. Geese love to roam and graze. Free-range farming is the preferred method for raising geese, as it lets them do what they do best: wander and snack. Farmers typically allow geese to roam on pastures where they can graze on grasses and clover. Not only does this keep them healthy, but it also saves on feed costs. Plus, geese raised this way often produce better quality meat. While geese enjoy the great outdoors during the day, they still need a cozy spot to rest at night. Goose shelters don't have to be fancy, but they do need to be sturdy. Predators like foxes and raccoons would love a chance to snag a goose. So these shelters must be secure. Goose houses are usually simple barns or sheds, providing protection without compromising the space they love to roam. Some modern farms use automated feeding systems to regulate geese's food intake and monitor their health. These high-tech systems keep track of how much each goose is eating and can even alert farmers to potential health issues. Automated systems mean less stress for the birds and help farmers keep their flocks in tip-top shape. Goose meat, though lesser known compared to chicken or turkey, is a delicacy that has been enjoyed for centuries, particularly in Europe and Asia. Known for its rich, dark flavor and tender texture, goose meat brings a unique taste experience that appeals to those seeking an alternative to more common poultry. With a higher fat content and distinctively savory taste, goose meat has a place on the dining tables of both gourmet enthusiasts and health-conscious eaters alike. One of the standout characteristics of goose meat is its flavor. Unlike the mild taste of chicken or turkey, goose meat has a robust, slightly gamey profile, with a rich depth of flavor that lends itself well to various cooking methods. The high fat content in the skin gives goose a crispiness when roasted, with the fat adding a luxurious, buttery quality to the meat itself. Foie gras, the delicacy that has made goose liver famous or infamous. Farmers use a method called gavage, or force feeding, to enlarge the livers of geese for foie gras. This process has faced criticism from animal welfare groups, and some countries have even banned it. For farmers interested in foie gras, ethical and humane practices are increasingly being sought to meet consumer demands for cruelty-free products. Foie gras, French for fat liver, is a highly prized delicacy known for its rich, buttery texture and distinct flavor. Traditionally produced in France, foie gras is made by enlarging the liver of a duck or goose through a specialized feeding process. This culinary delight has been enjoyed since ancient Egyptian times, yet it remains one of the most controversial foods in the world. Its unique production methods, ethical debates, and status in gourmet cuisine make foie gras both a luxury and a subject of intense debate. In French cuisine, foie gras is considered a pinnacle of flavor and texture, a appreciated for its melting, velvety quality and deep, savory taste. It is served in many ways: sliced and pan-seared, spread on toast as a pâté, or incorporated into gourmet dishes alongside fruits, nuts, or truffles. Each preparation brings out different nuances in the flavor profile, making foie gras a versatile ingredient that elevates any dining experience. Beyond France, foie gras is served in high-end restaurants worldwide, symbolizing luxury and fine dining. It is especially popular during holidays and celebrations, such as Christmas and New Year's, when it graces the tables of many European families. Down feathers from geese are highly valued for their insulation properties. Feather harvesting has traditionally been done during the geese's natural molting process, where they shed feathers seasonally. Ethical farms wait for this time to collect down, ensuring the geese remain comfortable. Plucking outside of molting can be painful for the birds, so ethical practices are crucial to maintain high welfare standards. Despite the challenges, goose farming offers golden eggs, or rather golden opportunities. Here's why some farmers are flocking to the goose business. Consumers are increasingly looking for products that are both ethical and organic. Free-range geese and responsibly harvested down appeal to this market. Many people are willing to pay a premium for high-welfare organic products, making it possible for goose farmers to carve out a niche in this growing sector. Goose down is known for its softness and warmth, making it perfect for luxury bedding and winter jackets. With a market that appreciates quality, goose down remains in high demand, providing farmers with an excellent revenue stream. With the rise of agro-tourism, some farmers are opening their gates to visitors. Offering tours and even goose experiences, these farms educate the public on what it's like to raise geese. For farmers, it's not only an extra income source, but also a way to advocate for ethical and sustainable farming practices. While geese might not be everyone's cup of tea locally, international markets are often eager for goose products. Countries in Asia and parts of Europe have a strong demand for goose meat, foie gras, and down. This opens up export opportunities and allows farmers to diversify their income. Goose farming is an industry rich with tradition, yet poised for modern innovation. Geese offer farmers a unique combination of meat, feathers, and other products, supported by the animal's natural adaptability and intelligence. While the industry faces challenges, including welfare concerns, market fluctuations, and environmental regulations, it also offers opportunities to meet the growing demand for ethical and sustainable products. With advancements in farming technology, expanding global markets, and a focus on high welfare practices, the future of goose farming holds promise for those willing to invest in responsible and innovative approaches. In this evolving landscape, farmers must balance tradition with modernity, ensuring the well-being of their flocks while meeting the diverse needs of today's consumers. So that's the story about the goose. Hope you'll enjoy it. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel to get notified when our exciting videos go live. Goodbye.